tuned into Sparring Minds with my man Charlie Hustle. It's the mirror time. Can't forget High Tower, aka High Tower. Told your boy about the rock, I play on BKK. We got sports, current affairs, social issues, main topic, mirror time, and much more. Let's get it.
Fellas.
Boom, boom. What's going
Number
on?
50, man. Number 50.
That's big. The big 5-0.
This is incredible, man. Before I even jump into this, right, I want to be able to just say from up the top, thank y'all. I appreciate just you guys, you my Sparring Minds guys. Like I just appreciate. Hold on, we got a lot of feedback. Y'all hear that?
Yeah, I hear that. Who's that? Which one of y'all is that?
Before I jump into the episode, I wanted to say thank you to y'all. I appreciate these last 50 episodes. Really been a crazy kind of ride. Something that we've been talking about for like 7 years. And so to kind of see it come to fruition like this is incredible. So salute to all y'all. Y'all know it's nothing but love from my end, and hope we continue rocking this out for the near future.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So with that said, y'all already know who I am. It's Charles Jones, aka Charlie Hustle.
High Tower, aka High Tower. I'd be expecting Chuck to go off, man. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, you caught us off by surprise with that one. But yeah, this is Sam Little, aka Sam Little.
What?
Yeah, y'all gotta fall back on the AKA.
Are we
same name? What are y'all doing?
Like, yo.
Wow.
Hey, it's the 50th show. It's the 50th show.
Blatant swagger jack. Look at that.
You already know who it is, man. You already know who it is. You know what I mean? The chef.
The chef.
You did.
Let's start out by saying thank you to all the people that joined us last night for the Sparring Minds, presenting the versus battle between Monica and Brandy. You know, it was a good show early, I guess. What were your thoughts on
it? Can I get my flowers? I told y'all Monica was gonna clean house.
I also said Monica, so you ain't about to jump out here like this by yourself.
Hey.
Yeah, I also said Monica.
It started off a little shaky.
Yeah.
But what's that all? Remember that home run derby? Homeboy just started cracking off.
The second half.
Wow.
Second
everything was out of here. Yeah.
Separate her.
Yeah.
Nah, I love Monica. I thought, Brandy was gonna do a little bit better, a lot better actually. It just didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
I said it last night, but I love Monica's jacket. That jacket was dope. Not Monica, Brandy's jacket. And then Hightower, you was educating me on the cost of what Monica had on.
Yeah, there was some high level.
Yeah, she can keep that high level shit. Nah, I'm all set.
Nah, yeah, she was clean.
I wasn't impressed.
You know, she got some long ass feet though. But outside of that, though, like
what?
I can't say I noticed, to be honest.
Yeah, nah, I peeped some of the pictures.
She didn't even wear the Monica 11s this year. I mean, for this. Listen.
Yeah, but no, I mean that Fendi was a couple bands, so shout to Shannon Brown for contributing to that.
For Malika, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now he's out here funding R&B chicks, so salute to him.
Stop it. She had her own money before me.
Shannon Brown.
She had her own money before Shannon. Cut it out.
Fuck out of here. So yeah, but the battle was pretty good. Like I was impressed. I mean, it wasn't nothing that I wasn't surprised by anything. It was what I wanted. They played the hits, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I would say is I expect a little more energy from those two, but it is what it is.
It was too much shade being thrown. It was throwing too
Oh
much shade.
yeah, there was definitely a grandstand.
Yeah, yo, Brandy's gonna look back at this and be like, yo, what's really good? Like, we still got smoke. That's what I know she's thinking that right now. I know Ray J's in her ear, like, yo, sis, those are body blows. You didn't even know it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, there was something I seen today where Brandy was like, oh, Monica, you're so beautiful. And Monica was like, yeah, thank you. Like, you would expect her to be like, oh, you as well, right? I mean, I was like, yeah, thanks. Let's move on. Like, Monica, the fuck out of here. Like, Monica's like from the projects, like, absolutely. Like, and there's still some kind of smoke there, no debate. No debate.
No matter how good looking, that hood is in there, dog.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't lose, you know what I mean? Like
that shit's deep in. That shit's ingrained, dog.
Monica had the goons on deck ready. She was like, I wish she would.
Hey, Brandy had radio. Huh?
Listen, you in Atlanta. You in Monica's hometown. You don't know who's out there.
So shout them out, man. I thought you had mentioned something about.
So yeah, definitely could have Rocco in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They know.
But also shout out to Tyler Perry.
Word up. Oh yeah, Chuck don't fuck with Tyler.
Hey, Charles, I understand you don't like him, but gotta talk about, for making it happen. That's what he was set up in the studios. I mean, that was a good look.
Get your pen game right, Tyler. Get your pen game right. Your pen game's a little sloppy out here.
Tyler got some money to back that up. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on a different day. But it's pen game.
Get your pen game up, Tyler.
Pen game's a little shaky, baby. But Mano, you said you saw some rumors about something else that might be happening on the horizon, right? Or not? For the verses.
The announcement that Timberland has, but nothing as far as has come out yet.
Okay.
So we'll just be waiting, on pins and needles. Hopefully it's some heavyweights.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll stay tuned for that. I mean, I look forward to it.
For sure.
And so, jumping off of that versus, we were talking about the Sparring Minds versus for a little while here, and we've been teasing that. So, man, you want to take us into that and see what we're doing there?
Yes. So finally, after what was it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? It was a while. It's just the point I'm trying to make here. It was a while that we were waiting for this. You know what I mean? So, yes, we finally had the Sparring Minds versus draft, and it was 4 of us. We had 4 MCs to pick from. There was rumors of these guys talking about doing a versus on their own. So being that we're of that generation, well, that's older than us, but still, we decided to have a versus, and we're gonna have LL, who's Sammy drafted first. Hightower, aka Hightower, has Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Yep.
AKA the modern day Jay-Z. And then Jones has the modern day Dawes with Rakim. That should be fun. And then last but not least, I get to KRS. You know what I'm saying? So this should definitely be fun. Looking forward to it. And we picked our 10 songs. We have the matchups all set. Will be Rakim versus Kane and LL versus KRS-One. So should be dope. We're gonna drop that tomorrow, right, fellas?
Yeah. Yep. As they're watching this, we'll start getting that uploaded for the reviews. So, as always, we appreciate the votes in that.
Yes,
y'all rocking along with us. Right. So let's jump on some other things. What else do we got happening this week? Before we jump off of this kind of stuff, any news jumping out to us outside of sports? Sam, you were mentioning some of the votes. I know you want to talk about that.
Yeah, we got our local election going on right now. I think that started up, if I'm not mistaken, today and whatnot. So please, everybody get out, vote. I heard, if I'm not mistaken, Christine Yancey, who was on the show, she actually went out and voted today. She said, lines weren't, packed, So I mean, that's good and bad in a way. I mean, she was in and out, but that's also saying that we're not out there. So please get out there and vote.
Yeah, you hope that the COVID pandemic doesn't stop people from voting. I mean, because it won't stop the other side from voting. You know what I mean? They're still going to get their votes in, you dig? So, you hope that we get out there and do the same.
Definitely. Shout out to Ayanna Presley. Shout out to Liz Miranda, excuse me, my sister. Sonia Chang Diaz. There's a couple women that's on the ballot locally that are kind of keeping office. You know what I mean? So shout out to them.
That's dope. This is their season. So, I mean, if y'all know them, if y'all rock with them, if y'all support them, now's the time to prove all that. You know what I mean? Get out there, get to the ballots. Support. When they're going on local media, support those that's giving them a voice. Because all that's right now, when we're talking about issues that are affecting our community. Hold on a second. Sparring Minds, listen, y'all hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me talk to my voice real quick. One of y'all audio was killing me, dog. Y'all can't act like y'all not hearing it. It's like an echo background. Y'all don't hear that?
I hear it.
That's me.
I don't know what it is.
Okay. Well, so yeah, like I was saying, it's definitely important to be able to get out there and support those who are voicing some of our concerns in the community. You know what I mean? We can't be complaining for all these years, and then when it's time to take action, we sit idly by. So these are the times to get out and actually make your voice count. So we appreciate all the people that Maine just mentioned, and anybody who's running for a cause that's important in our community. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? Let's do a little sport real quick before we jump.
And shout out to Javon Lucette.
To who?
You hear me? I also want to shout out Javon Lucette, who's also running.
Okay.
Soon to be family member. Well, actually is. Yeah. His brother Brovelt is he just got engaged to my sister. So
What up?
He's out there. Please check him out.
Or I mean, and let's get behind it.
Are they running now? Yeah.
Huh?
Is the audio any better now? Or we still struggling a little bit?
No, it sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what it was, but we want to make sure we definitely giving the people who are watching the best possible products.
Yeah.
Sports, y'all got something for me? And I'm kind of, part of me, Sparring Minds, I'm kind of delaying the inevitable because there's some obvious things we have to talk about that's happened since the last time we were on the show. And they're super heavy and they're super draining, and I'm trying to avoid going into that. So we're going to talk to sports for a little bit, but we'll get there eventually. Rockets and Thunder, we're talking about that in the pre-show.
Yeah. OKC just won last night, man. Push it to a game 7. So that's probably the one series that is the least expected to go 7. I feel like people might have written off OKC in 5 or 6, or maybe even 4 in some cases. But if you look at the rosters, but 7.
Truthfully, I was going with OKC. I just thought Adams was going to dominate. I really did. I really thought the best facilitator in the game was going to handle business. He had a chip on his shoulder, and I thought Adams was going to be able to dominate down low. He's actually disappointed me. I mean, he's had some good games.
Debatable best facilitator. That's debatable.
Yeah.
It's definitely debatable. I mean, people wrote off Chris Paul and OKC this year when that trade happened. I mean, we can go back. I was on record as being one of the people that just was like, I don't know if we should just write them off so quickly. I felt like, I'm just saying, I'm not an OKC fan, so
I agree. We shouldn't write him off, but I feel like
I was rejuvenated, and he got traded to a situation that people thought was going to be the absolute worst situation for him. And I've given Chris Paul a lot of bad talk over the years, and I had to give him props and write a, you know what I mean? the leadership, what he did. I mean, he went in there, he brought those guys suits, he got them together as a team. Like from day one, he was the ultimate leader with those guys off the court and built up. And now you see why they're playing in the game 7. So salute to Chris Paul and OKC, because OKC low key all year was like solid, flying under the radar. And that was a major reason why they were as good as they were this year. So it's no surprise. He willed his team the other night. Is what great players are supposed to do. Will your team to win. You know what I mean? So, salute to that. Salute to Chris.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to the people watching. Like I thought OKC was going to the lottery. Like I thought it was gonna be one of the worst 5 teams in the league after that trade. They gave up a lot in that trade. And I just thought they were building for the future, kind of breaking it down. They're gonna rebuild it. So to see them and like Maine said, Chris Paul had that team in contention from the start of the season. Like they were solid all year long. And he just kind of overlooked them. He was like, okay, see, like, all right, they'll fall off eventually. And they just never did. And so you got to salute them. But not only just them, they got a core of young guys, Shea Giles Alexander, they got a core of young guys who are playing really well. So you just, salute to that, man. They're doing a great job. So I hope they don't beat Houston because I'm a huge Russ fan, and I think that all the grief that niggas give Russ would only add up more if they lose in this. Like it's just they're gonna rain on Russ, and I think it's ridiculous for what his talent level, what he's been to the league. I want him to kind of advance to the Western Conference Finals. That's what I would like for Russ. So, but they gotta escape his former franchise to do so.
This is one of those rivalry type of game 7s, man. Like I can't think of the last time you had 2 teams face each other where star players were actually swapped or traded and end up facing each other in the playoffs. Like this is nuts.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
And Russ is not playing like you would expect him to be playing. It's actually Chris Paul who's playing like he's like, yo, I'm that dude. This is what y'all got rid. Y'all got rid of me to come over here, but imagine if I was still here in Houston. We wouldn't be having this issue right now.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So yeah, he's definitely playing like, come see me. I got you.
And we're living in a day where the NBA is about stacking the most all-star talent on your team as possible, right? That's the day we're living in right now.
I mean,
Chris is going back to, nah, fuck that. I'm the guy on this team. I'm gonna carry this roster, and I'll see you on the floor. And that I can't do nothing but respect that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same reason I respected Dame so much. Well, he's like, yo, fuck it. This is my team. I'll carry this. I don't need 3 other all-stars here to help me do that.
Mm-hmm.
Give nothing but respect that.
Well, Chris didn't have a choice in this case, though. He got traded here. He came from a situation with the Rockets where him and James Harden teamed together. It didn't work. He forced his way out of LA where he teamed up. He had Blake Griffin, and it was alley-oops and all this stuff. And you know what I mean? So, like,
but
he's tried to do – it's tried to happen. And even the trade that almost happened, the psych trade with the Lakers. Like, nope, snatchies. I'm going to take him back. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I'm just saying, he's tried to team up with guys before. It just hasn't worked. And this scenario just happened to be a blessing in disguise because he didn't have a choice. So he was a professional and went there and made it happen. You know what I mean?
And I guess what I'm focused on here is the performance in these particular playoffs. Everything else was standing, right? Like he is the only guy that I can think of, unless y'all want to give me somebody else, who's not playing with any other all-stars, not playing with any other borderline all-stars, and still carrying and still putting the team through. You see what I'm saying? Like even if you wanted to say, oh, well, Donovan Mitchell's out, he got Rudy Gobert playing at a very high level, defensive player of the year. You know what I mean? So like nobody else is playing without, I don't see it.
Steven Adams doesn't.
Don't do that, man.
I'm just saying, Steven Adams doesn't suck. Shea Gilgeous is a young, rising talent, and then like I know he got hurt a lot, but Gallinari's not like a bad player. He's not a bad player.
Yeah.
All right,
He's not
we
a
stop
bad
talking
player.
seriously.
Listen.
Hopefully, we can go back and talk serious for a minute.
We can get off sports, but I'm just saying he's not a bad player.
Don't sleep on Dennis Schroeder, man. He's in the 6-man running.
Schroeder.
Yeah.
Come on now.
He's been balling.
You gotta give a 6-man his props.
Y'all see, so Sparring Minds, what I tried to do was have a serious conversation with these dudes about, just about sports. And then they start talking this bullshit, which makes me want to go in a whole different direction. So y'all pardon us.
Just saying.
Fuck out of here.
Man.
What else we got in sports, man?
Miami, they took game 1.
And this ain't the first time we've seen the Bucks looking shaky. You see what I'm saying? This ain't the first time. Because Orlando get in the business on a couple of occasions.
Just game 1.
Just beat them once.
No, but they played them very tough in game, 4-3? They wasn't getting blown out like they were supposed to be. Milwaukee's supposed to be the best team in the league with the highest scoring differential in the league. And then you played them against the Orlando team that wasn't supposed to be there. Nah. Everybody here would have said Bucks will sweep Orlando. That's what we said. That's what we said.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But
for sure.
And then so for them to lose game 1 and then get played tough in game 3 or 4. Come on, man. You losing Miami. Okay. And Jimmy Butler and those guys.
Nah, they're gonna go hard. I mean, Bam, you got Bam down there working. That's a tough matchup from Milwaukee. That's a real tough matchup for him.
Yeah, Miami got shooters. Miami got shooters.
Do they?
Milwaukee,
yes, they do.
Yeah, they got shooters, Miami.
Oh, they absolutely got shooters.
Oh, okay. I thought you was questioning me.
No, their bench, they might go 10 deep. Look at Kendrick Nunn, almost the rookie of the year, playing like 10 minutes a night because they can't get him in.
Yep.
He's off the bench.
Our team's loaded. And credit Eric Spoelstra, bro. We don't give him enough credit. That dude's a very good coach.
Absolutely.
We kind of said, you had LeBron and D-Wade, you're supposed to win games. Ever since them dudes left, Miami's been all right, dog. They've been well coached. Salute.
Yeah.
Salute to them. I hope they knock off the Bucks. I hate the Bucks.
Well coached and well managed, like their trades and all that stuff. The type of talent they bring in, how they make moves. I mean, but OG Pat Riley, legend, one of the best in the game. So there's no surprise there.
Let me say this to you real quick, man, because it was funny. I seen it on social media today. So Joel Embiid was on social media talking about how he's feeling and right? Jimmy Butler replied in a tweet, "I know a place where villains are welcome." I said, here we go. That's recruiting 101, bro.
You about to get fined for tampering.
Oh, man. Players should not get fined. Not for that.
You trade Embiid to Miami, here's the problem. You lose a lot of that young talent we were just talking about.
Wouldn't do it.
Probably be about
Wouldn't do it.
But Embiid, nah.
You would trade for Embiid if you were Miami?
Wouldn't do it. No, I would not do it.
Nah. I mean, you have to give up big.
Well, no, it changes how you play.
I would stay with the way they are.
Changes how you play.
I would stay
because Miami runs. Embiid's not a run and gun player. He don't get up and down the floor like that. He stretches the floor. If you do half court, he's great. But that's not what they do.
The problem. Okay, here's two things. Career-wise, it would be amazing for Embiid, right? Because of that organization and how they run things. He would be forced to get in shape like we all want him to. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're not in a certain shape for the Heat, you're not playing. Like, period. You know what I mean? But I just like what they're building. And I just think I don't know. As talented as he is, I just like what Bam brings to that team instead. And he's the one player in the league that can match up with Giannis, like physically and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not saying he can stop Giannis, but he's going to make Giannis work because he's probably about the same size, can run the floor just like him. He gets the ball off the rebound, brings it up too. I don't know.
Very energetic, man. He go hard.
Can we finally knock it off with the Jimmy Butler as a cancer stuff?
I never said that. Yeah, that was nuts to say. Philly big time.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, you
you
can be
can
a
knock it
cancer.
off.
You can be a cancer, and yeah, I mean, he could be a good cancer. I mean, he wants his guys to play well. He wanted his guys to play well over in, you know. Hey,
Hold on,
listen.
can we just take a second? Can we
Yeah, hold
just
that.
get past that dumb shit?
Yeah, hold up.
Hey, well, he could
Yeah.
be toxic. He could be toxic.
Hold up. Out of all the cancers, you mean there's a good one?
Hey, listen. I mean, he could be toxic. My bad. He could be toxic.
What are we doing out here?
Hey, listen.
Oh, shit.
Nah, but you coming into a team and you're, demanding stuff of guys that have been on that team and they feel a certain way. Like you can make guys feel a certain way and not like you, not play up to expectations. I mean, we know Jimmy wants to win, but sometimes, you get these players that just don't really give a shit like that. It was a big, him over in Detroit. I mean, over in
Minnesota.
over there when they're beating them. Nah,
in Philly.
Yeah, in Philly. It just.
I disagree with that slightly. Let me make 2 points. The first point is this shines a real light on Carl Towns because Jimmy Butler has gotten rave reviews from guys in Philly and now guys in Miami. You know what I mean? So what the fuck is up with Carl Towns, who was complaining about playing with Jimmy Butler? Like, maybe that says something about you and your dedication, your work ethic. If you can't work right with Jimmy. Second off, Jimmy Butler didn't leave Philly because that team didn't mesh. That's not why he left. Like, Miami offered him a bigger contract. Philly didn't want to pay him the bigger contract. So it just made sense for him to leave. And if he left on bad terms, he wouldn't be on Twitter recruiting Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? Because it would sound ridiculous if he was recruiting Carl Towns. He's recruiting Joel Embiid. That tells me there's some kind of relationship there.
He liked Embiid. I just think the problem was he didn't like Brett Brown and the coach and just how it was structured and it wasn't organized and stuff like that. And I mean, like, I watched a podcast with him. He was on JJ Redick's podcast and kind of talking about it. And part of that reason was Brett Brown. The coach just got let go. You know what I mean? Didn't seem to really have no control or anything over the team or structure or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, the Heat organization, Pat Riley runs that with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? So you know how he did with the Lakers, with New York, like everywhere he runs it with an iron fist. Same way.
And not only that, man, you make a great point. You make a great point. And Jimmy Butler came into the league under the hand of Tom Thibodeau, who also runs a very firm ship. So he likes that kind of structure.
Right, exactly.
So when you go to places like Minnesota, where the players run the organization,
no structure, no organization. Go to Philly, no structure, no organization. Like, he's like, it's not working for me. Like, I truly think that he just didn't want to go back to Philly. You know what I mean? And they're crazy because they paid fucking Tobias Harris like he was an all-star.
Yeah.
I would have paid you would have paid Tobias Harris too. You wouldn't have let them both walk out the door. Stop it, man.
I mean,
you can't let them both walk.
I guess, but
that GM they would have fired that GM on the spot. They lost both of those guys. Are you kidding me?
I don't even want to keep going. We've been going on sports for a little bit. I don't want to keep going in there because I just can go with Philly. But
yeah,
the problem that they're searching for right now, they're looking for shooters, right? They had JJ Redick, they had Marco Bellinelli, they had Ersan Ilyasova, and all of them are gone. They didn't sign any of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they traded Markelle Fultz. Like, this guy's, terrible, man. Boy, get off. Philly's bad. But I hope Jason Kidd gets the head coaching job. I hope Jay Kidd gets.
I heard rumors about Don Staley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Really? You okay with that?
Yeah. Becky Hammond's in the league. Kara Lawson was in the league. She's the head coach at Duke now. There's women in
Head
basketball.
coach at Duke.
Yeah, Carol Lawson.
Yeah.
Carol
On
Lawson.
the women's team.
Carol Lawson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying she was an assistant with the Boston Celtics, though, was my point. She was a Celtics assistant. And she went from the Celtics to the
Oh, the Celtics hire anybody up off the street. That don't impress me.
Yeah, but that's why we're 2-0 right now in the playoffs. Right now in this second round. But
Lakers picked up Frank Vogel. You talking about people on the street?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah. Please. Let's get off of this one.
Yeah, so jumping off of sports and into what I was trying to avoid. Hightower, it's been a pretty rough. Obviously, it's been a rough 2020. That goes without saying. But it's been a pretty rough last 2 weeks in terms of our community losing icons. So talk to me a little bit about that. I'm gonna let you drive this ship.
Yeah, man, it's been 2020 has been one of those crazy years, man. We already lost, heavy hitters like Kobe and Nip and John Lewis and countless others. But even now we're adding, Cliff Robinson, Lute Olson, John Thompson, legendary Georgetown coach, and even Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman. Like this is crazy. I mean, I'm not sure how much you want to go into detail about life and loss of life, but the fact that 2020 has consumed so many bodies is scary at times, man. Young, old folks, you just had no idea. You know what I mean?
Let me. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I don't want to do that, right? But this is an emotional. This is a difficult conversation. It's a conversation that it hits home. In terms of losing people to cancer, right? Our entire show has been affected. I lost my dad. I lost my aunt. Maine lost his aunt. Sammy lost his moms. You know what I mean? Like, cancer is a very real situation in our community. And, all of the reading that I've ever done on cancer tells me that no other countries are affected by cancer the way the United States of America is, right? And so that tells me that there's something in our culture here. There's something in our water, so to speak, that our government and that our trusted health professionals are just skipping over. You know what I mean? And there's always been some kind of conversation about, well, does America look at cancer as a business, right? Do they look at this as a financial revenue as opposed to trying to defeat it based on a moral standpoint? You know what I mean? I think that, like, just your basic health care should be a human right, right? And I'm really adamant about why we don't have a cure for cancer at this point. There's no reason why we should still be dying from cancer when it seems as though other countries aren't dealing with it in the same type of numbers that we are. So, I'm saddened by it. One thing I did, thank you, Queen. One thing I did want to bring up, which I thought was really ridiculous, is it pisses me off on social media too. And I'm gonna do this in 2 segments. First off, if you're on social media right now, and as of this recording, Chadwick hasn't had a funeral yet. R.I.P. to the king. He hasn't had a funeral yet. If you on here talking about, oh, what's going to happen in Black Panther 2, who are they going to get to replace him? Get you the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Show some respect to the family that could give a fuck about Black Panther right now. That could give a fuck about what actor is going to take on that role, but gives a total fuck about, damn, we just lost the matriarch of our family. We just lost the backbone of what we do here in our home, in our residence. You know what I mean? Like, that's a far greater conversation than what Marvel plans on doing with an actor's path or a created fictional. Fuck out of here with you for doing that. If you salty about that, get you the fuck out of here. Period. Like I'm not really gonna have a debate about that. Pardon me, fellas. Like I don't want to be angry about it, but like that's kind of show some respect to the family, man. Like off the top. The second thing off is Whoopi Goldberg had made a statement to one of the Marvel executives. Again, Marvel, right? So that already tells me how much I'm valuing this. When you're talking about Marvel, instead of Chad the man and what he meant to his family and the community, what he meant to the little kids who had cancer when he went to go visit them, even though he had cancer himself. Come on, man. Like, don't talk to me about. So Whoopi Goldberg went and had put a tweet or some kind of social media message to one of the head execs at Marvel saying that Disney should open a theme park named Wakanda in Chad's memory. So here's my thought on why that is completely stupid. First off, Disney's probably going to do that anyway. And it didn't have anything to do with Chadwick Boseman. It had everything to do with there was finally a black character in their comics that they could generate revenue from. And they're going to do everything they can in order to put a couple of dollars in their pocket, even if it meant making a Wakanda ad. So that's no real tribute to Chad Boseman, the man, right? It's a tribute to a comic book character that was created that Chad portrayed. So, yeah, get Whoopi the fuck out of here also. Period. Okay, so I'm done. Like, I didn't want to go on a rant. I didn't want to do that. This just came naturally because I'm really tight about it. But really, so there's two levels of disrespect I see here. The first is the fact that America hasn't fucking fixed this cancer situation yet, right? And like fix that. And the second off, stop disrespecting Chad's family, man. R.I.P. to the bro, man.
I want to say Chris Rock said something on one of his stand-ups a long time ago about there's no money in the cure. The money's in the medicine or something like that. And this kind of just falls a line because I think he was making reference to, HIV or whatever. But I think the same logic can be applied because, pharmaceutical is big business. So, the longer you keep these guys paying for these medications, the longer you get the line in your pockets. And, capitalism is king in this country. You know what I mean? It trumps, any moral compass in most cases. So, it's unfortunate. And I agree, like where we are now, within a lot of aspects, we shouldn't be there with the technology or whatever superpower we're supposed to be as a country. You know what I mean?
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else, man? I don't want to stay on this too long. We can move on.
I mean, I just just with everything going on, like I said, rest in peace, man. To John Thompson, Georgetown. You know what I mean? Who forget the coach, just what kind of man he was. What his players meant to him. You know what I'm saying? And his graduation rate and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And just like how was all caring about young black men. I mean, and you see his products. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys that he they like what kind of men they became. You know what I'm saying? I think that was more important. You know what I mean? He kept a deflated basketball in his office to show his players. Basically like when the ball stopped bouncing, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And he was just about them and more than just basketball.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. I mean, his graduation rate was what 72 out of 75 or 75 out of 77, something like that.
76 out of 78.
Okay, 76 out of that's remarkable. That's remarkable.
Yeah. And y'all know I've been talking about graduation rate for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Very long time. Because John knew, which is getting young Black African Americans educated is priority number one.
Yes.
And so, it's no surprise to me that he would treat these students the same way. We've all heard about the stories of Allen Iverson. Those stories went down to the 12th man on the roster. You know what I mean? Even the those parents sat on all of their couches and say, hey, listen, I know your kid can ball. I want to make sure he walks out of my office with a degree. And that's fucking incredible. I can do nothing but salute that.
Yeah. Allen Iverson actually was quoted as saying, "Thank you, coach, for saving my life." That's how much of an impact he had. Thompson was a great guy. I mean, he was like, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the first Black coach I've ever seen on TV. I was a Georgetown fan coming up. I watched the mornings. I didn't get to watch Ewan too much. I did get to watch morning and Dikembe, the Victor Page and Iversons and stuff like that. But, all I can say is, rest in peace to that man. He was a great guy. Great guy.
That's dope because I think, and I'm with you, Sammy. He was the first Black coach that I saw. Because when we grew up, we saw all the Big East games.
Yeah.
And so watching Georgetown play against Syracuse and Jim Boeheim and all those kind of games, it was like, Black people can be coaches. Like we can actually lead the team. We don't gotta just be the talent on the floor. We can actually show that we could take a management and leadership role. And that's when you get that instilled in your youngest, watching them do that, it helps build paths of what you want to do in your future. You know what I mean? Like I said, my brother Mitch Hercule, you know what I mean? Like he went on to be a coach. Just by me and him sitting around watching what John was doing on a weekend. So just that's dope, man. What? In fact, because of this, I think I want to do an episode where we get some youth coaches on. I want to get some youth coaches on. Let's have a conversation with them about their role in the community, what they're doing, and I think we'll title that episode John Thompson. I think that'd be nice. You know what I mean?
Like that.
That would be dope.
That's something coming up in the future. We'll do that.
Yeah, we know quite a few guys.
Oh, yeah.
John set the path for how we deal with the community and our youth. And I think so many guys in our community are following that path. Let's talk to them about that. Let's talk about that journey. Let's see what that really looks like from a grassroots standpoint.
All right. We can make that happen.
I know we got a topic lined up tonight, but before we do, and let me, because see, now I'm in angry Chuck mode. I'm trying to get out of angry Chuck mode.
Let me turn on the mic.
No, I'm not going to stay in this mode. Let me get out of it. So let's go to.
Hold up. Before you go, are you drinking water? Man, you and Sammy swagger jacking me.
Get the fuck out of here. No, I can't drink water, nigga. Like, what are we doing out here?
Where's your fruits and berries at? What's going on here? What's your
you dudes out here on your fitness walk, like treadmill, fighting bears, and I'm just sitting on the couch. So now I'm trying to get right too, and now it's a whole big thing.
Just last week you had a green drink.
I'm cutting back on the green drinks. Bro.
Oh man,
it's water.
See this is synonymous. This is synonymous.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's getting ready for his 30-day challenge. We're on day 2.
Man. That's all I wanted to say, man. You go ahead and carry on, man.
That's real shit because I've seen in a few episodes people be commenting about Ant's water. I'm like, what the fuck's so special about this nigga's water? Like, get Ant the fuck out there.
Listen, come here. I'll coach you, brother. It's cool.
All right. Well, I'll apologize for Swagger Jack in the water, and that actually leads into our next Sparring Minds segment, which is the now infamous Sparring Minds Forgives. And so I know you guys are very familiar with this segment. What I do is I read off a couple of news articles from around the world. And then I ask my guys to show some semblance of forgiveness. Now, for the record, I think these guys have forgiven 1 out of the previous 10 incidences where apologies were issued. I'm going to give them a couple more today. See if we can get an apology. So y'all ready for this, fellas?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hightower, let me start with you. The American Academy of Pediatrics has apologized for denying access to a man named Roland Scott. Roland Scott was the first Black man to pass the pediatric board exam, but this was back in 1939. The American Academy of Pediatrics has issued this apology last week. Are we accepting the damn near 70-year-old apology from the American Academy of Pediatrics?
Who's in charge over there? Like, who's in charge over there now versus who was in charge over it then? Like, was this like the first order of business when this guy came in or this girl came in? Like, okay, we got to clean house. Because, I mean, if you look at it, Trump just recently pardoned Susan B. Anthony or something, and that was like 100 years ago for the woman's right to vote or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm definitely not forgiving Trump. You see what I mean? So yeah, I'm not forgiving the Academy of whatever it is for pediatrics. They can get out of here too.
Sammy, are we forgiving the American Academy of Pediatrics for denying this guy access and then saying we're sorry 70 years later?
No, man, no. We can't do that. We can't do that. Like, I mean, homie's dead, right?
He been dead.
Nah. Like, what good is it? What good is it? I mean, what good is it to him?
Maine, are we accepting the apology? Like, isn't there some precedent that they're setting? Isn't this like good nature? Isn't this goodwill?
Nope. Nah, man, get them all the way the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was better off just burying that and just leaving it as be. You know what I mean? Like, does the man have any family that's around to even know about this or anything like that, to accept it or to just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Get them the fuck out of here, though.
I mean, the only way I can foresee this making any kind of sense is if you were able to calculate the lost wages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if he's not getting approved to be a pediatrician, he's losing out on a career in pediatrics.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, now if you're going to say, we're wrong, we should have accepted you, blah, blah, blah. Here's a endowment of X amount of, millions, or at least upwards of six figures. You know what I mean? Like, just put this towards
the family,
the family, or a foundation in his name to help the next generation of, pediatricians or something. Right. Just cross his name off the list and saying, sorry, ain't enough.
Yeah.
So what I've learned here from at least the first segment of this episode is that Hightower's apologies can be purchased. So we'll keep that in mind as we move forward. Here's the second one. The manufacturer in China named Ubisoft has apologized for making coffee mugs with the handle on the inside of the cup. Sammy, are we accepting the apology of Ubisoft?
Chinese manufacturer. No, we're definitely not. No, we're not accepting the apology. I have a lot of funny things like just passing through my head, but I just can't. I can't.
Okay. Mano, Ubisoft has acknowledged their error in putting the handle on the inside of the cup. Are we accepting their apology?
This is just bad on so many levels. Oh, this is just bad. There's just no way in the world that you make that kind of error. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you supposed to reach your hand on the inside?
Or is it one of those cups? Or is it one of them cups that you can probably like put slide the handle outside, something like that?
It was a ceramic cup. Like, it wasn't, the handle ain't going nowhere.
Nope. Get them the fuck out of here.
Hightower, come on, man. You haven't had an apology yet. There's like 20 of these joints. You haven't. Are you going to accept the apology of Ubisoft?
He's
You're on
actually
mute,
thinking
King.
about it.
Boy,
My
that's
bad,
like
man.
some Sparring Minds listeners. Hold on, because I ain't gonna let that shit slide. That's like some episode 1 shit where niggas be talking like you can't do that
Hey.
shit. You on mute? Knock it off. We're 50 episodes in, brother. You heard? We celebrating the big 50. We celebrate
You're right.
get rich
You're
and
right.
not trying out here. And you still
You're right.
doing that.
It's a bad week, man. I
Out
was
here for that, man.
nodding off last night and got the mute on tonight. I'm all over the place, man.
Legendary. That is Sparring Minds history right
Yo,
there.
that's classic, bro. So, come on. Okay, so with that said, are you going to accept the apology?
What I was saying while I was on mute was, in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about a ceramic mug. And I'm not sure if you can even call it a mug if there's no handle. But this is an error that can be corrected and it's not affecting anyone's life. There's other mugs, there's other drinks that you can use this in, this bad mug with. But it's just, maybe it was just somebody like me on the assembly line floor and put something in the wrong place, and before you know it, the mug, the handle's on the inside. This is a lot more. I could be a lot more lenient on this than say, restaurants weighing people at the door and giving them different size menus. You know what I mean? So yeah, I forgive these dudes, man. Go back and fix the mistake you made.
Yeah, this is actually like, I don't think an apology was needed here. Like, I think people buy like novelty gifts all the time. Like, you know what I mean? People buy weird shit like this all the time. I would have caught one of this stash shit as like something to show off later. Like, here's a little gag gift or whatever, like whatever. So
yeah, here's a mug I can't use.
Right, yeah. Who cares? Like, moving on to the third. Huh?
I said a mug no one can use. Shit.
Word up. So number 3, Terry Crews has apologized to Gabrielle Union. Now, Gabrielle Union is in some kind of debate with America's Got Talent, in which she labels a toxic and racist working environment. She then went on to say that Terry Crews is also a villain for not standing in solidarity with the Black employees who are going through the same things that she was going through while dealing with America's Got Talent. Terry has apologized. Maine, are we accepting Terry's apology for not staying with Gabrielle Union up front?
Nope. Get Terry Crews. Get fucking Damon. Get him the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean?
Hightower,
Damon up.
are we accepting the apology of Terry Crews?
I'm familiar with the story, and if it had been like the next day and he apologized, because he's ran his lips a lot. I think like a few weeks or even a few months had gone by before he made this apology, which kind of diminishes the apology a little bit. But if he had just the next day was like, you know what, I was wrong, I'm here for you, then yeah, you can accept that apology. But this is like weeks, and he was just throwing dirt and throwing dirt and throwing dirt. It's like, nah, you can't come back from that one. It's too late. So nah.
So Samuel, are you accepting the apology of Terry Crews here? Or what are you doing?
Terry Crews has been brought. No, I'm not accepting Terry Crews' apology at all. No. I mean, first of all, what we're going through right now with racism in America, I mean, he should have been by Gabrielle's side from jump, So no, I'm not accepting it at all. No.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Terry Crews, but I would like to welcome him back to the community on some level, and maybe it starts with that apology, So, if not now, when are we going to welcome him back to the community, if ever? I guess would be my question. But we'll talk about that.
I mean, to me, it just seems like when the Black community jumps on him for not sticking up, that's when he wants to apologize. I'm not with that. I'm just not with that.
Okay, let's move on. We got one more, and then we got to get to the topic because I know we're getting close to our time here. So, this is a pretty spectacular story, so I didn't want to skip over this. So, City Council member Cindy Nguyen, who is down in New Orleans' lower Ninth Ward, recently apologized for her actions in an interview. Now, keep in mind, just for some backstory, she's the first non-Black city council member since 1985, right? And the community down on lower Ninth Ward is predominantly Black, as you would imagine down in New Orleans, right? So she was asked what kind of commerce the neighborhood can realistically support given its shrunken population since Katrina. It's a very valid question, right? What kind of businesses are going to come in it and help us revitalize? It's a legit question, right? So City Council member Cindy Nguyen says, and I quote, "I'll be candid. Having a Walmart ain't going to happen. That's just the reality. I think people of the lower Ninth Ward like those greasy fried chicken places instead." End quote. Hightower, are we... She later apologized, saying that her comments were misconstrued. Hightower, are we accepting the apology of City Council member Cindy Nguyen, who assumes that Black people prefer fried, greasy chicken places as sources of revenue for our community?
I mean, yeah. Simply put, I'm not going to debate with this one because
You
that's
accepting
just
the apology, huh?
no. I'm not.
Are you not going to accept it?
I'm not going to accept that. That's just nuts. I mean, if she was replacing Walmart with like a proven nutritional new age, revenue generating food chain or whatever the case may be, then it's like, okay, I can see where you're trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
But she's seen enough on TV to like to just make an assumption or a broad generalization of, nah, just throw some New York chickens around the corner or some Popeyes or whatever. They'll be all right. You know what I mean? Nah. We can't let that fly, man.
Oh shit, Sammy, are we accepting the apology of
Nah, that's a
Cindy
quick
Nguyen?
no for me. That's a quick no for me, fam. Quick no.
Damn, Maine, are we accepting the apology of Cindy Nguyen?
Absolutely, positively negative. Get her the fuck out of here.
One of these days here on Sparring Minds, we're going to forgive somebody who makes a mistake.
Yeah.
It's not going to be today, but we'll forgive somebody coming up here soon. Let's get to the topic. Sammy, what do we got lined up today, brother?
Well, for a few of us that know that Neicy Nash got married, pretty recently, after a 9-year, marriage with who was it, Jay Tucker, I think it was. She just recently married her best friend, Jessica Betts, 6 months after the divorce. So my question to you guys, you're in Mr. Tucker's position. 6 months after you guys divorce, she marries her best friend, someone that's probably been, her go-to girl, every night that you guys, it's probably been around you guys, but her go-to girl whenever you guys have been into, your little disputes, she goes ahead and marries her best friend. How do you feel about that?
I'll jump off the bridge. Yeah, for her to jump into something like that after 6 months, she was probably already knee deep in it. She had to be. I mean, best friend or not, she was knee deep in there. And how do I feel about it? I mean, that's tough because you can move on and do your thing after any amount of time. But when you're dealing with somebody who's that close, kind of changes things because it's like, all right, well, they know me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What else do they know about me that I don't know that they know about me? You know what I mean? So now it's like I can't even. Can we be cordial? You know what I mean? I'm not with it. But I mean, kudos to her and her, her best friend or her wife or whatever. You know, black love is always dope, but
I mean, you still try to be cordial.
you can, and that under them circumstances, I don't think you can.
Mm. All right. Well, man, what do you feel? How you feel?
I mean, take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? To a male ego, you might feel like, damn, she left me for a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, like Hightower said, you know what I mean? That was something that was already going on anyways. You know what I mean? You're just finding it out more so now. You know what I mean? And 6 months down the line, you know what I'm saying? And from what it seems like, I believe this is like her third marriage. She was married to another guy before Jay. You know what I mean? So all that lets me know right there, just knowing that, it's like, you know what I mean? She's just really not, stable, you know what I mean? And not sure of who she is or whatever, so it is what it is. Like I said, I wouldn't be cordial. I mean, unless there was like kids involved in something like that, I think that's the only scenario that could change things. I'm not sure if her and Tucker had kids, but other than that, there will be no need for you to rap with her new wife, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let it roll off the chest with a grain of salt, man. That's it. Edie.
I dig it. All right. Mr. Hustle.
You know something, man? I can't take the opinion of a woman in her third marriage seriously. I can't take that. Your thought process is skewed, sis. Like you don't really get this love thing, right? That's clear. That's clear to see, right? Because the first dude she was married to for 13 years. This dude was for 9 years. So come on, like you don't know what you're doing. Take a break from the marriage thing. Just fuck the chick if that's what you wanted to do. Like just do that. But you continuously getting married is borderline ridiculous. But let me go back and answer the question that you were asked, right? So the question said, what's my feelings? Bro, like, I don't care. Like, we've been separated. Let me give you some facts. We've been separated. You cut me a check for 180 grand, right? So what are we talking about here? Like, I got my money based on what will happen there. I got my truck. The house is on sale. We're gonna split that up. No spousal support's coming. Whatever. Like, you was fucking that bitch long before we got divorced. And here's the truth of the matter. Because I was beating up on this story. Like, their relationship had been on the rocks for like 2 years, 2.5, 3 years coming into the divorce. You know what I'm saying? The husband felt the way about her getting the body work done. He didn't want her to get all that body work done. She went and did it anyways. Like, her husband felt the way about the sex scenes and her show claws. She went and did it anyway. So I've already given you at least 4 examples of why this chick ain't wifey material. She just did me the favor of getting the fuck up out of my life. You see what I'm saying? So get her the fuck out of here. Now, I'm going to hope my wife ain't watching this episode. Because the One Pieces is borderline nuts. Let's just, body work incredible by whatever physician was involved. Like, kudos, right? Get her the fuck out of here. But I'm sorry. Don't worry. These niggas provoked me into talking about this. I didn't want to talk about this, bro. You need to know. Like, at the end of the day, let me just say this last piece. If you leave me for a woman, that told me I couldn't please you anyway. Like, there was nothing I could have done. You see what I'm saying? You just wanted to be with a woman. If you left me for another nigga, you go with her. I'm like, damn, what could I have done? Is my dick not long enough? Like, there's some things I would have gone through in my own way. You see what I'm saying? If you left me for another motherfucker. But you left me for like, there's nothing I can do about that.
But did you read up that her first husband's name was what was her first husband's name? Don Nash.
No.
The guy she just divorced, his name is Tucker. Jay Tucker. She didn't even take his last name.
She kept the first husband's name?
Yes.
Great Scott, dog. Yo, are you kidding me, bro?
Yes.
And
Jay
this
Tucker
is a larger lesson about fellas controlling your household. Y'all just can't let anything run rampant. That's ridiculous, man. Are y'all kidding me?
Yeah,
And
that's
y'all like no response to this bullshit. Y'all just like, whatever.
that's
Get the fuck out of here.
there's no
Yeah.
that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't even wouldn't even got to a wedding at that point. Once that
Are you kidding me?
Yes, Jay Tucker is a straight sucker. He got punked. He got punked the whole marriage. I mean, he lucky he got left them parting gifts, but he got punked the whole marriage. She did not respect that man, not one bit.
No. That's disgusting, though. I'm mad you just told me that.
Yeah.
yeah, shame on Jay. Yeah, get Jay
Straight up. See, at first, Neicy was just the villain, and I was happy saying that. But now, after hearing that shit, get him the fuck out of here too.
Definitely.
Okay, you don't feel sorry for Jay, not at all.
No, well, you know it's difficult because they were living in two different states. Like he was living in LA and she was living in New Orleans filming Claws. So, like, even living in a separate state from your wife, like, I don't excuse that. See, again, y'all have this thing. We've talked about it multiple times on the show where, you know, finances play a role in that kind of decision making for y'all. Like, and if your wife had a doctor thing in Oregon and it was gonna last 9 months, you'd be like, go ahead, babe, make that money. I'll be here when you get back. Maine, if Rissa had like something down in like Charlotte for a year and a half, you'd be like, go ahead, Riss, get that bread. I'll be here when you get back. Sammy, if P had some kind of thing going on in fucking Canada, you'd be like, go ahead, babe. Like, we can rock out when you get back. Fabian ain't going not nowhere. You got an accounting thing? I'm going to, nigga. Like, I'll pack up.
That's better. That's better. As long as you're going with her. But you can't hold her back from doing what she got to do.
Nah. Yo, we married. So you can't. And that's where Jay made the mistake. You married to the lady, but you got her living in a whole different state, living a whole different lifestyle. Not only that, she know what life is living without you. Fuck out of here. Fabian packing a bag, I'm packing one too.
I hear you.
My lady wouldn't do that. She wouldn't leave without me.
She wouldn't.
That's a fact. Nope.
This is something that Charles Jones will bring up on his Sparring Minds retreat.
Bring it up. She wouldn't. A year. You said a year and a half. She's
Call it a year. Call it a year.
She's not going nowhere for a year with me and her separated for
a year and a half. Yes, that's way too long.
Yeah, wilding. She's not doing that. And yeah, I'm sure they got chef jobs in Charlotte. So either way, yeah, the chef bag is going along too. Either way, we gonna be there for a year.
Yo, you mean to tell me they offer her $500,000 to come do something in Wisconsin for a year? You not staying here?
Huh? What'd you say?
While she goes, she said, I gotta go to Wisconsin for a year. $500,000 is the bag when I come back.
She does construction, so let's just tailor it around construction.
Okay. Yeah, there's a huge job in Wisconsin. I'm going. 500,000.
It's not leaving me, B.
I mean,
would you tell her to go for 500 bands?
Huh?
Would you tell her to go? Despite what she said, I'm not going. Would you tell her to go?
No, so we gonna figure out how to make it happen going together.
Yeah.
High power. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah. It's not going to be much of a discussion. He comes here saying she got this gig for $500,000 for a year.
Yeah.
We out.
Yeah.
I don't believe you niggas, though. I don't believe you.
You're crazy. Who wouldn't take that?
Well,
first, that's a house. Yeah, that's a house. That's all your payments. That's everything. Like, who wouldn't do that? Charles Jones.
Jay.
Well, She probably told Jay to stay the fuck home. She probably told Jay to stay the fuck home. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, man.
You know, I wanted around these parts, star.
So the moral of the story is getting Neicy Nash the fuck out of here, and her play husband, get him the fuck out of here too.
Definitely.
And the play wife while you at it, because come on, I can't blame the new wife. I can't blame her.
Oh, you can't blame Jessica.
You can always blame the new wife. It just ain't smart to do so.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, you're right. You're right. just know that you're gonna be divorced in about 8 years. Just know that.
Yeah.
That's Neicy's pattern. So just be clear what's about to happen. Sammy, mirror time, King.
Yo.
All right. Well, so we out of here now, huh? All right. Well, never apologize for your black thoughts, your black loyalties, your black motives, your black history, your black pride, your black skin. Be strong, be proud, and unapologetically black. Then we can get on out of here.
I find myself apologizing for black thoughts a lot on this show.
I found myself just apologizing, period. No matter the color.
Episode 50 is in the books, man. Y'all been this entire ride has been crazy. We appreciate y'all rocking out with us, man. You already know who I am. It's your boy Charles Jones.
That's it?
AKAs, man.
AKA Great Scott. It's Hightower here, y'all. Thank you for riding with us.
Sammy Little, thank you very much for, watching us these last 50 episodes. It's been great. Next 50 should be even better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You already know it's the chef main topic, man, and definitely appreciate the viewers rocking. Like I said, we got a lot more good things in store. So this second run to the next 50 should be pretty impressive. I like the way it's looking. You dig? So continue to rock out with us.
Absolutely. 50 in the books, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what a good cancer.
So can I just let's just say this. 2020 has been a bad year, you know what I mean, in so many ways or whatever. But the beauty of 2020 has been the birth of Sparring Minds. So, and this is episode 50. So let's salute to that. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of things to be down for this year, but absolutely us coming together collectively after October 2015, when the legendary Medication run started up. You know what I mean? So to now, finally, 5 years get to this point. And like I said, 2020 has been bad, but for me personally, this has been the best part about 2020.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
All right, fellas. I love y'all, man.
You already know.
And for the people watching, we'll see y'all on our Friday show. So y'all stay tuned for that. We'll see y'all then, man. We out of here.
Yes, get active on the page tomorrow. Let's go. Get them votes in.